Welcome back to Off the Desk. I have two guests here with me today. I have Miranda Reidner. She's the executive director of the Neenah Historical Society. And I have Roger Miller here as well, who is going to be an actor in the upcoming 41st annual Cemetery Walk. It's happening at Oak Hill Cemetery in Neenah on Thursday, August 13th from 5:30 until 8 p.m. Thank you both for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
So let's talk about the cemetery walk. I know this is a new date. It was originally scheduled earlier, but then sadly, the July 27th tornado happened. Did the cemetery sustain damage?
No, the cemetery sustained very minimal damage. Branches came down, but they were out of the direct path of the tornado and were very, very lucky not to sustain a great amount of damage from fallen trees or disturbed graves.
Good. I'm glad to hear. And the show is going to go on.
Yes.
What does the cemetery walk entail? What will people experience?
We present 4 historical figures from Neenah's history with actors who read from a script and tell the lives, story, and interesting details of a person who grew up in Neenah, was very prominent in Neenah, or has a great story to tell about being a dedicated community member in Neenah.
So let's talk about those 4 people. Who are they and why did you choose them?
So this year we stuck with the theme 250th, as it is America's 250th anniversary for the signing of the Declaration of Independence. We chose Mary Catherine Howden, who is in the bottom right. We chose John Pinkerton, bottom left, Letta French, top left, and Frank Miller, top right.
And you are also incorporating the 250th birthday of America in this. How are you doing that exactly?
So each of the 4 people have direct lineage to a patriot who fought in the Revolution. So each of the people have a ancestor that fought, served, and survived or passed away from participating in the Revolutionary War in 1776.
And you are partnering with a certain group for this too, aren't you?
Yes, we are partnering with the Daughters of the American Revolution. They helped us find Neenah residents that had direct ancestors, connected us with some families, and helped us with some of the research to provide the information in the scripts.
And Roger, that brings us to you because your father is Frank Miller, who you are actually going to be portraying during this. What has this experience been like for you?
It's opened a lot of history to myself, things that my father never spoke of, examples of his time during the military on the Petrov Bay, stories I didn't know of. There were a few things he used to say, but he was very closed about it. And I didn't know a lot about Captain Hendrik Appomet, which is my 5th great-grandfather, but my father's 4th great-grandfather, who was an indigenous revolutionary warrior who served under George Washington in the Continental Army. So it was very enlightening for me to learn more about my history and take a step into an area where I don't normally, it's not a comfortable position at sometimes.
It's fascinating. Tell us about your father and again, maybe talk more about the connection to the Revolutionary War.
My father was born on the reservation and was brought to Neenah in the 30s by my grandmother. And we have a long history of serving our country. I think all of them have served in one way or another. My grandfather, World War I, my father in World War II, my uncles in the Korean War, my cousins in Vietnam, Afghanistan, myself, I was in the Marines. So we all tied to that but never really we don't talk a lot about the fact that we all are linked to Hendrik Apalmet, and as well as on my paternal side as well. There's other indigenous people that served in the Revolutionary War, but Captain Hendrik Apalmet is specific to this particular event. Um, it's very, it's a very proud moment to research that and learn more than what I've ever known as growing up with Frank. Because again, he didn't speak a lot of these things.
And with the connection of America 250, what does this mean to you to be able to highlight Native Americans' contributions to this country?
It's again, this is very deep within me. It's a very proud moment of we were part of something I believe that history doesn't always explain. It's many times taken from the context of George Washington or the Continental Army itself, but the Mohicans specifically, there isn't a lot of, from what I can find, documented pieces. They're there, but from what I've been able to find, with the help of my wife, it's proud, very proud, and it's helping me become or learn who I am after many years. So it's as you can tell, it's deep, very deep feeling for me.
And now you get to share that history with those who will be attending the cemetery walk. As we're just days away now from that walk, what are your thoughts? Are you excited to be able to share this history and your father? And are you going to be dressed up?
I will. He worked as a window clerk at the United States Post Office in Neenah for 31 years, and then he did vehicle maintenance. So I'll be in a postal attire. I still have some of his clasps for his tie clasp and pins that he had over the years for the time of service. So I'll be doing that, and I'm excited, nervous, all in one. I've been practicing the narrative. At first, we were 10 minutes long. Now we're down to 7. I'm getting better at it. There's a little bit of flow, but it is helpful that I know Frank. I didn't realize when we first did the rehearsal that the other people were not linked like myself. So it's very, it's fun, and it's getting close.
Yes.
So I got to keep practicing.
So what does the research process entail to develop these stories? That's part 2 of our conversation after the break. Welcome back. Before the break, we heard about the 4 people being highlighted in this year's Neenah Cemetery Walk. Now we learn how it's a labor of love to research these historical figures.
If we're lucky, we'll have a collection about the person or a collection connected to the person. So there'll be letters, information, pictures. But for example, Letta French, we don't have anything in our collection directly related to her. So it was a lot of newspaper research. Newspapers were very, very nosy way back when, and they recorded everything, whether you were out of town visiting family and friends, or if you were sick, if you had a dog bark in your yard, everything and anything in between. So we were very lucky that Letta French got photographed in the newspaper one time, and that's how we were able to get a photo of her. So she's one of the individuals that it's really hard for us to write about, but it took a lot of extra time digging, contacting Daughters of America Revolution to see if they had extra information about her, where she served, how she served the community through the organization, and other things she was a part of. On the other hand, John Pinkerton, the Pinkerton family in Neenah, was pretty well known. We have records connecting them, multiple pictures of John and his family. So it was a little easier for us to track, and so much so that the Historical Society has presented on the Pinkerton family in a cemetery walk in the past. So we were able to pull that script back up and refresh it, I like to always fact check whatever I'm about to present. So going through and pulling each fact and trying to find a source to connect it. Lots of details and digging into the weeds, searching newspaper records, archival records, in-house, online, and anywhere in between. So it takes hours of research to get a 7-minute script.
I was going to ask you about that. How long does it take you to dig up all of this information?
It takes a very considerable amount of time just combing newspapers. If you clip any time the name is mentioned, that can range from 50 for their life to 50 a year. Letta French traveled a lot, so we had a lot of newspaper clippings of Letta French is out of town in Minneapolis visiting family, or her nephew is up visiting. Those tell us some things, but not quite as much of a history as we wanted. Where on the other hand, things like Pinkerton is everywhere in the newspaper, and you have to make sure it's the right Pinkerton. It takes a considerable amount of hours, effort, and then you have to figure out what stories you want to tell in the newspaper. Frank's story was different because we had a direct family member able to tell us the stories and help compile them. And the script started out a lot longer, and we had to cut it down. And we reconciled with cutting some of those stories by being able to put them on one of the web pages we will be creating and publishing for the cemetery walk, to give additional photos, contacts, life updates of the people and the stories to the audiences, and have them have a chance to dive deeper as well.
For you, what's the best part of organizing this cemetery walk and holding it every year? I'm sure the feedback is incredible.
I love hearing the feedback. I love getting to know more about Neenah's history, the intricacies of it, the different just the different people. There's so many different types of people who've grown up in the area, and some stories get told over and over and over again, and sometimes you get a new story, and learning a new one is always exciting because there's so much information that comes with it that you just get filled with all of this new information that you're just so excited to share. And it's always great to see the attendance of the cemetery walk getting excited or laughing along, or the gasps or sighs or the nice awes that you hear every now and then from the audience. That's very rewarding, that they're learning and enjoying the history as much as we were in the research process.
If people want to attend, how can they do so? How much are tickets? Where can they get them?
Absolutely. So we are inside the chapel at Oak Hill Cemetery, which seats about 50. So we will do 4 to 5 showings, which means all 4 actors will go in one 30-minute segment, and then a second group of people will come into the chapel to listen to them. So it's kind of a rotation of shows. Tickets are going to be available outside of the chapel this year. Usually it's at the gates, but because we're using the chapel and we had some feedback about the difficulty processing tickets at the gate versus at the door, we are having our ticket sales booth in front of the chapel this year. You'll get a ticket that is a certain color. And let's say red tickets are for the first show. You'll get, if you have a red ticket, you'll know that your show time starts at 5:30. If you have a blue ticket, it starts at 6. And it's first come, first serve. Tickets are $5 a person.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Miranda and Roger, for stopping by Off the Desk today to tell us all about the 41st Annual Cemetery Walk. Again, it's at Oak Hill Cemetery in Neenah, Thursday, August 13th from 5:30 until 8 p.m. Enjoy this magical celebration of history and learning more about those who really molded the Neenah of today. And stay with us. There is more Off the Desk to come.